Just another sir.
Yes. My dear friends, please don't disturb the session, so kindly make sure that your microphones muted. Yes. A very cheerful evening to esteemed dignitaries, all the teachers who are here, distinguished guests, and my dear beloved friends. Welcome to the session. So, we would like to thank you all initially for joining us and for taking a part in this particular session. And even though it's Sunday, you've joined us to witness and to watch the session. We are so glad that you're all here and we thank you all wholeheartedly. So, my dear friends and teachers, so this is the session which is going to be taken care and addressed by Marta ma'am. So I think you're really waiting to watch, witness, and to interact with the ma'am, right? So without wasting much time and without a further delay, let's get started. And now I cordially invite Marta ma'am, who is an ELTA expert and absolutely woman of letters. So, welcome, ma'am. It's a great pleasure and privilege to have you, and we are so glad that you are here. And I could say we are so much fortunate to have you and to witness you. So, welcome, ma'am, and over to you. We request you to please interact with us and to address the gathering. Thank you, ma'am. Welcome.
Oh, it's a very nice experience for me to share with you. Hello, everyone. I've been told that there are students from India, from Warangal. So I'm going to share some minutes with you, and I think we're going to have a very good time, right? Well, yes, I'm a teacher. I've been teaching in secondary schools for over 25 years. So when you were born, I had already been a teacher for a long time. I don't know if you are ready and if you would like me to share my screen. All right, can I do it?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so just let me find what I want to show you, and we are going to start. Can you see my presentation?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Right. By the way, let me ask you something, and this is how old the students are. How old are you, children?
15 years.
15
How old?
Yes,
15?
14.
Yes, ma'am.
14. All right.
13.
Yes. Great. Great. All right. So 14. 13. You are between 13 and 14, right?
Yeah, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Great.
Ma'am,
All
I'm
right.
12.
You're 12. Fantastic. A very young one. Good. Well, so let's start. Have a look. I was asked to prepare something to discuss the importance of communicative English for students, right? So one of our most important questions is, why is it important to communicate in English? Do you think it is important to communicate in English? What's your opinion? You can open your mics and tell me. Is it important? Yes. All right.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Right. And why? What for? Can you think of ideas why it's useful and good to communicate in English, or who we can communicate in English with?
Yes, ma'am. It is important.
Uh-huh. And have you thought, or do you have any ideas about why it is so important to communicate in English?
Because we learn English in schools, in books. We'll educate.
Right.
Provide a lot of job opportunities. It helps in our future also.
Of course.
International language.
Sorry, any other ideas?
Because it is international language.
It's an international language. Excellent, right? And let me ask you something. Do you use the internet?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Right. So, are materials on the internet in English? Of course they are, right? There are lots of materials and things that you may be interested in, right? So I've made a list, but most of the things that I wrote in my list are the things that you have just mentioned, right? So let's go to that list. The first one is here on this slide. Why is it important to communicate in English? The first one I wrote is to exchange ideas and experiences around the world. Do you agree with this?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
Have you ever had this experience of talking to someone from another place in the world? And have you used English? Maybe not yet, but maybe you will very soon. Or maybe you have already done it, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Probably.
yes, ma'am.
Right. Here it says to share our culture and learn about others and learn about other cultures. For example, in this event, you know, I'm from very, very far away from your country and we are sharing an activity, right? And what's the language we're using? We're using English. You know, that's right, because you know, English is the lingua franca. You know what a lingua franca is? Have you ever heard this term? The lingua franca is the language that people use when they want to communicate. For example, you speak a language every day at home with your families, and that language is not English. I speak a language here in my country, and that language is not English. You know what language I speak? What language is spoken in Argentina, in my country? Any
No, we
ideas?
don't know.
You don't know.
madam.
I
All
don't.
right. It's a language that most people in Latin America speak, and this language is Spanish, right? In Latin America, many people speak Spanish, and some people, not as many, speak some original languages from the peoples that lived on the American continent from many centuries ago, right? But most people speak Spanish, and I speak Spanish. Yes, I can tell you, for example, I can introduce myself in Spanish and say, hola, mi nombre es María Marta Mora. And I'm speaking Spanish, you know, but we need English because your everyday language is not English. It's another one. My everyday language at home is not English, but we use English to communicate, right? So we share part of our cultures and we can speak about many things, but only if we use English in this case, right? Now, why else do we use, or what for? What do we use English for? To make commercial transactions with people from other countries. Again, if you want to, or you or your parents or someone in your families want to sell a product to a person from a different country, they will probably need English to communicate, right? So the value of using English in this case to communicate is really great. What about using English to study abroad?
To travel.
To travel anywhere in the world, but also to study. Maybe when you grow up a little more, you can have the possibility of going to study in another country, right? And probably the language of instruction of what you study could be English. So why not learning to communicate in English better and better every day, right? So I think this is a great plan. Learning English is a good plan. Right, and to travel around the world. Now, let's think of this period of time that we are going through because of the pandemic. Can people travel around the world very much? Can people do so? Very, very often, and as often as they used to do before the pandemic? No. People can't travel around the world as often.
No.
But do they still use English to communicate? Of course.
Yes.
People, why? Can you think of why people use English around the world? Not around the world. Around where? Around the screen when they get into the meet sessions, when they go on WhatsApp and speak to people from other countries, from people who speak other languages that are not English, right? Sorry, maybe I interrupted you when you wanted to say something. No? All right. Well, anyway, if you have any other thoughts and reflections, please let's share them at the end of the meeting. And if you want, if you have some paper and pen, write down the things you would like to say or ask at the end of the session, right? And then you can ask me, right? And I'll be glad to answer you if I can, of course. Any questions as to up to here?
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
All right. Thank you. Let's go on. This is something that you mentioned, right? You mentioned this a few minutes ago. Right. Do you know people who have got a better job because they know English? Or have you heard of someone?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Right. No or yes?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, of course.
Yes,
Of
ma'am.
course. Right. I think
Yes.
that knowing English and being able to communicate in English is an advantage and is something extra that you can include in your CV, in your curriculum vitae, when you apply for a job, right? One day, very soon or not very soon, you may be wanted or you will be applying for jobs. And do you think it's an extra if you know English? Of course it is. It is. There is a big difference between having two candidates for a job and maybe one of them knows English and the other one doesn't not know English. So maybe the person who knows English will have more chances of obtaining that job, right? All right, next. Now we're going to think about some ideas to improve our English communication skills. As I can hear from you, you can communicate in English really well, right? Much better than my students at my school here in my country. So that's a great thing. But how can we still improve? Maybe you have lots of communication skills, but you can go a step forward, right? So one of them is listen to podcasts or listen to audiobooks or simply listen to the radio. Do you listen to the radio? I don't know if in your country it's common to listen to the radio, but there are lots of online radios that you can listen to in English, of course, right? There are soap operas. You know what a soap opera is?
No.
No? Does anyone know?
No, ma'am.
No?
No.
Let me... All right. A soap opera is a kind of series with episodes, right? There are many, many famous British soap operas. And in general, this series of episodes are about the story of a family and their friends and what happens to them, right? It's a kind of reality show. Are you acquainted with the term reality show?
Yes.
Yes, I mean, it's the daily life or of a person or a group of people, right? And well, of course, this has been written by a script writer, right? And that's the opportunity of listening to English in everyday use, right? The English that people use every day when they are native speakers of English, when they have been born in a place where English is the language that they speak all day long, at home, at work, at school, right? So listen to audio inputs is fantastic. Now, another way to improve our communication skills is to set yourself a daily goal, an objective. For example, today I'm planning to learn 5 new words. Let's set this as your own goal, your own objective. Today I want to learn 5 words. Well, how can you do this? There are many ways. Do you have any technique, for example, for learning new words?
Ma'am, dictionaries.
Sorry?
Dictionaries, newspapers.
Writing lists, for example?
Yes,
Yes.
using
Right.
treasures.
Keeping
Yes. Great.
Writing, ma'am.
Great. Yes, writing. And only writing? And
By
what about
communicating with others.
Ma'am, reading
Right.
newspapers.
Newspapers, right.
Speaking.
What about selecting a few words? And maybe you don't know what those words mean in English. So how can you solve that?
Listen.
If you don't know the meaning, what can you do?
We will search.
We go through dictionary.
Dictionary.
We search
Google.
in Google.
You Google
Online
for it,
dictionary.
right? You can use an online dictionary, or if you have a paper dictionary, maybe a book
Yes.
that is a dictionary, and you can check it, right? It's
Yes.
not all the world is Google and Google. We can do other things, right? Good. Now, what about writing a journal in a weekly planner? And why a planner? Because do you know these planners, these kinds of booklets, and you have some room to write on each of the days. The whole week on 2 pages when you display it and you open it. So on
Daily.
each day, you can write a few sentences about what you did during the day, or about what you're planning to do, right? Or something that you liked. And instead of writing just the thing that you liked, you can write, for example, today I saw a fantastic flower on my way to the market. So when I saw the flower, I discovered that it was very beautiful, and I found that it had, I don't know, pink petals, and I had never seen something like that before, right? So in that way, you're using your language, right? And maybe you want to share this with your family or with your schoolmates, right? And in this way, you're using the language. Right. Next. Do you watch YouTube, or do you watch influencers?
We watch YouTube. Yes, madam.
Yes, madam.
Yes, ma'am.
Great, fantastic. And do you have a favorite celebrity or person that you follow on social networks, or you watch their videos?
No, ma'am.
No. All
Singer
right,
Vijay.
No, ma'am.
all right. But you watch YouTube, and what do you watch on YouTube? Do you watch things in English or in your language?
We watch things in our language.
Right. And have you ever tried listening and watching to things in English?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Of
ma'am.
course.
Ma'am.
Great. So this is something that you can do more often if you want, right? I
Yes, ma'am.
chose to write your favorite YouTuber or your influencer, but maybe you use other social networks and you have the, I don't know, reels or presentations, right? So maybe it can be good to imitate the way that these people speak English, right? And be aware that their versions are one in many, right? You know that there are many Englishes. English that people speak around the world are not the same. Maybe you can now notice that I speak a kind of English that is different from the English that you speak. This is because my original language makes an influence on the way I pronounce, right? So maybe, you know, it's a different version of English, but it's English anyway. And it's really great to be exposed and to try to imitate people speaking English. There, that helps you with your fluency, for example. All right. Next, listen to, sing, and practice songs in English. Do you do this?
Yes,
Do
ma'am.
you have any?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Not so, but maybe the songs.
Yes, ma'am.
Great, fantastic. Maybe not only the songs that you may be taught by your teachers, because your teachers may offer you songs in English, and that's awfully fantastic. But you may choose your own bands, and you may discover your own bands or singers in English, right? So it's listen, and then you start repeating it, right? Because you like this so much that you want to have it in your memory all the time. So it's natural that you will obviously start repeating. Yes, another thing that can be useful to improve your communication skills is to watch series, right? Do you watch Netflix or any other platform for series? Do you have that?
Prime
I'm
Video, Disney Plus, Hotstar.
Yes, ma'am.
Great, great. So
Yes,
any
ma'am.
of the
So many options.
platforms, right? And do you have the option to set the subtitles?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Can you choose what language to
Yes,
read?
madam.
For example, I don't know if it's fantastic. So if it's film or a series in English, you can set the thing, the film, for you to read the English subtitles. Maybe not for the whole episode or not for the whole film, because it's a long time and your minds will be blown. I mean, it's too much, and your brain gets very tired. But maybe 10 or 15 minutes, change it, and you read the subtitles in a more relaxed way, right? But it's good to spend a part, or maybe if you have a favorite film, for example, I have my own children and they love some of the Disney films, and they have some some scenes from the film that, so you know, as we speak Spanish in my country, my children watch the films, and with the sound in Spanish, sometimes for a change, they play the video or the film in English, and they sometimes set the subtitles in Spanish. But I have insisted on making them practice this way. If this is the scene of your film, of the film, that you know by memory because it's very funny and because it's very yes, that you like it a lot, why not trying to set the subtitles in English with the audio in English, right? So that's great practice, because these words, you know, in your own language, but now you can learn them in English too, right? Am I clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Please write down anything you want to ask, please, for the end, right? We're going to devote 5 minutes for your questions. Well, do you want to play?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you want to spell?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. I don't know if Sampat or any of your teachers can help us, because if all of you spell at the same time, it's going to be a real mess. I have not many, but I have some words for you and some inputs for you to spell, right? Teachers, I don't know how we can, or maybe we can. Let's spell all together. It's going to be a bit noisy, right? But let's do it.
Yeah.
We're going to play today.
Okay, ma'am.
Right. Well, the first one is guess where I am from. Look at the
Argentina.
map.
Argentina.
Yes.
Argentina.
What? Yes. You know where that is? It's where it's the red spot on the world map, right? It's in
Yeah, ma'am.
South America,
South
at the
America.
very, very
Yes,
south.
ma'am.
And I know that you are around here. Am I right? Am I pointing to the
Yes,
right part of the map?
Yes, madam.
Right. So we are very far, but at the same time, thanks to the internet, we are really near. We are sharing an activity together, right? And we are using English to communicate. All right. Well, let's go to the next. But first of all, let's spell the name of my country.
Don't know, ma'am.
No idea?
Yes, America.
Argentina.
Argentina. Have a look.
Argentina.
All right, but let's spell it. A.
Argentina.
Argentina.
Great.
Argentina.
Congratulations. Right, let's go to the next one. Just a second. Okay. It doesn't seem to work. A second. Wait a minute. Just a second. I'm having a few problems, but they'll be, I expect they, here we are. Guess where I'm from? This one. And my country is on the western, what? A western side of the world. Do you know that word?
Yeah.
What is it?
Yes, madam.
And what is it? The western half part of the world.
Western Hemisphere.
Western Hemisphere.
Right, it's the hemisphere. So let's spell it. You can see it everywhere on this image.
HEMISPHER.
HEMISP.
Western Hemisphere. HEMISPHER.
It's
Great.
visible, ma'am, on your slide itself.
Sorry?
It's visible on your slide itself, ma'am.
Yes, I know. I know it's visible, but I left it on purpose, you know. Let me, just a second, make it bigger. Here. Right, and Argentina, it is below the what line? Do you know?
Equator.
Equator line.
Equator.
Right. Okay. So let's spell the equator. Let's spell equator.
Equator.
Very good. You're very fast and very good at spelling. Great. Environment, and we're going to think of words related to the environment. So I'm giving you the hints, and you will try to, first of all, guess what the word is. Spell it together, right? So the first one is the envelope of gases surrounding the Earth or another planet. What's that? That's the, shall I give you a hint? Or do you need, yes? The hint is that this word starts with an A.
Ma'am?
The word start with an A.
Atmosphere.
Great, good for you. Atmosphere, how can you spell that one?
ATMOSPHERE.
Really fast. Any others would like to spell that word?
It is a layer.
That's right. Yes, because here it says it's the envelope. I mean, what covers, right? It's the layer that, yes, and it's full of gases, right? And it surrounds the Earth. That is the atmosphere. Yes, good. Shall we pass on to the second one? Community of interacting organisms and their physical environment. What's that? Do you want a hint? It starts with an E. Sorry, yes, I think I used ecosystem. Fantastic. So, what is it? Can you spell it?
ECOSYSTEM.
Great. Yes, with a Y in the middle, right? That's a specific thing about this. Number 3, good for you. Now for number 3, something that is able to be maintained at a certain rate or level.
Pollution?
What's that? Unfortunately, pollution is maintained, but something, this is an adjective.
Okay, ma'am.
It starts with an S, and the meaning is keep it a long time. Something that is sustainability, right? Good. Or sustainable, the adjective. Sustainability. Come on, go ahead.
SUSTAINABILITY.
Fantastic.
SUSTAINABILITY.
That's a difficult one, isn't it? Right. Now next, let's talk about feelings and emotions, right? An unexpected or astonishing event or a fact is what?
Shock.
We don't expect. If it's negative, it's a shock. And if it's positive, it's a good
surprise.
Surprise, right? Is it easy to spell? I think so. Come on. So can you spell surprise? S-U-R? Oh, that was very fast. I missed it. S-U-R?
P-R-I-S-E.
Yes.
C? With a C at the end?
S-U-R-P-R-I-S-E.
S-E, that's it, right. Yes. Good. Number 3, another feeling, a feeling of contentment, that life is just as it should be. What is that? When you're very happy, or the feeling is happy, what else?
Sad.
Right, that's a negative one. Or happiness. I was thinking of happiness, right?
Sadness.
Right. There's a tricky vowel in the middle. Happiness, right? It's H-A. Can you go on spelling it? H-E-H-A? P-P or double P? Oh.
And yes.
Oh. Let's see. Ah, you're right. Great. You're spelling it in the chat. Right. 4. This is something that has happened to us during the pandemic. Lack of sureness about something or something or someone or something.
Confidence.
This is when you are not sure about what's going to come to you. This feeling is uncertain. You're not sure, so you have this feeling of you are not certain about something. So it's called uncertainty. Do you know? Have you ever heard that word?
Yes.
Yes, you're writing it. So let's spell it out. UNC. Come on. But you can say it. Or are you muted? No, you're not muted. UNCERTAYNTY. Right. We're going to change now. And we're going to the next step. Finally, some medical terms, right? I chose 1 or 2 topics, right, at random, but there are lots of things that we can we can choose, right? When you have a fever, you need something to check your body temperature. What do you need?
Thermometer.
A thermometer, right? And that's THE.
Meteor.
Right, let me see. Let me check the chat. Thermometer, great. Congratulations. Let's go on. The lower part of your brain around here is called the what? You know, you have the cerebrum, and down here you have your
Cerebrum.
cerebellum. You know, there are 2 parts. One is the brain or the cerebrum, and then there's the, oh, I didn't know. The medulla. All right, yes, the medulla. I think I'm not a specialist. Please check with your teachers, with your biology teachers. The medulla goes further down later. Yes, right, cerebellum. You know, at the beginning, someone spelled it with an S, but remember it starts with a C, cerebellum. Right, very good. Next one is number 3, a very thin and flat bone on your back below your shoulders. And that is your
Backbone.
Your backbone is in the middle, but there are 2, sorry, I made a mistake. I should have said very thin and flat bones on your back because they are 2. And they are below your elbows on your back. Can you touch that part of your bodies? Here? You know the name of those bones? They are called scapulas. Let me write it in the chat. Hey, chat, come to me. Here, I think. Just a second. Here. Here. Scapular, no, it's scapula. Yes, some of you wrote it very well. Scapula. It's SCAPULA, right? Scapula. Right, there you are. Good. Now, let's think of a device that the doctor uses when he or she wants to listen to your heartbeat. Or your heartbeat. Sorry, can you say that again? I didn't listen here. It looks like this. It looks
Stethoscope.
Yes, stethoscope. Right. Oh, that's a hard one. Let me see how you're spelling it. Stethoscope. Excellent. Oh, you found the picture. I mean the Great. Stethoscope. Great, 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 great. Fantastic. All right. I think this is the last one. Yes. And now I'd like to to give you some time for questions or for any impressions or things that you'd like to mention. Any questions? Anything you'd like to share? Any experiences using English and communicating, or ideas for better communication, right? I'm going to give you 2 or 3 minutes to think, right? Or maybe you wrote down something. Any thoughts? Anything to write on the chat? Maybe you don't want to speak, but you can write it on the chat. And that's fantastic. Let me check. Right. You are free to write on the chat if you want. Anything that comes to your mind and you'd like to share or to ask. Oh, thank you. Right. Very nice. Sampat wrote a link, maybe before, after I finish, you may want to say something else about that. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, ma'am.
All right, all right. Well, so I'm about to finish. So let me wait a minute. I don't know why my presentation seems not to want to work a lot. Well, thank you. This is the I need to tell you. You've been very enthusiastic and there's been great participation. Yes. Do you usually participate like this, so enthusiastically in your lessons?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, that's great. You know, I'm going to invite you to my school because I need you to help my students to be more motivated. You know, my students look like this in class. Oh, so yes, I want to activate my students. So I'm going to invite you one day.
Come on, Ra.
Right. Well, why the Hindi language is not important, Matt? Because Hindi also frequently used for communication. Oh, that's a fantastic question. And
language is used to communicate.
Ma'am,
Hindi is also the national language. No, ma'am.
What is it?
All are used to communicate.
But do you all use? Well, and I want to listen to you now because I'm not the expert in Hindi. The question is, why is it not important? I don't know who it may be important to. You mean this person who asked the question, this student? I think it was a student. Maybe Hindi is not important internationally, but it's really important at the local level. And that's really important. You know, well, there are many reasons why English is more, I don't know if important, but more widely used. Why lots of people use English. Yes, here somebody is inviting you to ask questions. But, you know, there are many political and historical reasons why I think, this is my own opinion, but we can discuss this a lot. Many historical reasons why English has become more important than other languages. In fact, English is spoken by more people around the world than any other language, right? So I don't know if it's a question of being important or not important, but it's a question of how many people use it and why or what they use it for, right? Yes, Hindi is restricted to North India only, right? Yes, you know, maybe inside your own country, you speak different languages, right? Well, on that, I can't give you my opinion because I don't know. I've never been to your country. But I think English is one of the most important things, right? What books have you read? Well, I've read lots of books, books regarding how to teach English, but I love reading novels, right? I've read novels from Latin American writers in Spanish. You know, I studied English for many, many years, so I was really tired and I felt that I had not read enough in my own language. So I had a period of time on which I read lots and lots in Spanish, right? And I enjoyed it a lot. So do read in your own language too, because you can enjoy it a lot. How can we learn English language in an easy way, ma'am? You know, English is not easy, really. I don't know if there's an easy way. There are some techniques, there are some tricks. I have offered you some, right? Some techniques, but you can invent your own. This is something that I was going to tell you, right? You can invent your own things, your own techniques, right? You want to learn Spanish, Rajesh?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Well, I think you could go. I'm going to type here my email. If am I allowed, teachers? Am I allowed to type to share my own email address with your students? If you give me your permission, it's all right. Let me write. I have 2 email addresses. How to speak English without making mistakes and to speak fluently. Don't worry if you make mistakes. It's only natural. All of us make mistakes when we speak another language that is not ours, right? So relax. Communication is the most important thing. So if you can get through, if you can communicate, that's one of the most important things, communication. There may be mistakes, but the essential thing is, you know, connecting with others. I don't know if I missed some of the questions. How can we develop other languages in an easy way? Again, I don't think learning is easy. You may make it easier. You may find ways to, yes, but there's no magic solution. You know, I have a recipe which is very homemade, and this is sit down and study, right? There's no magic in learning languages. You may find easier ways to systematize the way to study, yes, but it's not easy to learn languages, and it requires effort and long hours, right? Practice makes, yes, practice makes perfect. You're right. Yes, how to develop our speaking skills. Again, sorry. Your speaking skills can be developed by practice. I mean, I was just telling you this a few minutes ago. Practicing on your own. Maybe you're having a shower at home and you are speaking to yourself. And I mean, this is very, very private, but you know, while you're washing your hair, maybe you're singing your favorite song in English, or maybe you are repeating an expression that you liked and you heard in a film or in a video or in a series, right? So repeat it many times, and you will. Or another thing you can do is to record yourself on your mobile phone. You use a mobile phone, you download a recording device, a recording application, and you record yourself, and then you compare what you recorded with you know, with the original. Maybe you record a session from your favorite film, right? A part in English, and then you record yourself and you imitate, and then you compare what you recorded yourself and then compare and see how well you could do it, right? Your language is Spanish, how you're able to speak in English. Oh, no, I have many mistakes. Here it says without any mistakes. I have lots of mistakes. Yes, the thing is that I've been learning, you know, there's a secret here. But don't tell anyone. Eh? The secret is that I've been speaking English for, let me count, since I was 18 and now I'm 54. Can you calculate the number of years? Practice makes man perfect. Yes, you know, I've been practicing my English for many years. So one of the secrets why I speak English quite fluently and quite well is that I'm old. I'm 54, right? So when you grow older and if you continue speaking and studying English, your practice will make your English perfect. Yes, great. So I've been speaking English formally since I studied my teacher training college 36 years ago. Can you imagine that? That's your parents' age, probably, right? Yes, I watch films and videos and movies in English, and most of the things I gave you as tips for improving your English come from my own experience. I mean, I'm not perfect. I'm just experienced, right? So what I did was to share with you my experience. It's not, that's right, try until you succeed, right? Try and never be disappointed, right? Never be sad because you may fail, but you will make it, right? Which one is, yes?
Madam, in first you said that to improve English, we have to listen podcast radios. Yes, madam. So,
yes.
Can you share any best podcast names?
Maybe I don't have a favorite one, but any you know, from England you have the BBC. Maybe you have heard it. BBC
Yes, ma'am.
radio, right? BBC channel 4 and 5, I think it is, right? BBC television channels. There's also one site with podcasts. I don't know if you have, if you know of these, and this is the British Council page. British Council Learn. There's a section on the British Council website that is called English Learn English Kids or Learn English Teens. This is a web page that I use with my students. In English also, just we keep interest, ma'am. We can easily talk in English. Yes, you will. But these, I'm not sharing anymore, am I? Am I sharing? No. But let me check a page. But it's Learn English Teens. You can easily Google it and you will find it. And there are lots of podcasts about, podcasts about any different experiences and cultural experiences around the world, but they are in English. So that's great. All right, here one of the suggestions is to download podcast apps from Google Play Store, right? Yes.
What is the app name, ma'am?
Oh, sorry, I found that I've been writing and responding to individual people on the chat. Let me wait a minute. Let me share with you Learn English Teens. Now, can you read it? Can you all read it in the chat? Yeah. Oh, you know, we have lots of things to learn English kids. This is from the British. Bear with me for a minute. British Council web page. Right, you will find nice, very nice podcasts there, and videos and interactive activities. Right. Anchor, I don't know that one. I'm going to write it down here. All right. Well, let me see any other questions or comments and impressions. Well, basically, let me share just for a second my thank you message. Can I? Am I allowed to share? Yes. It's just 1 more minute. Please tell me if you can see it. Can you see my screen?
Yes,
We can see, ma'am.
Screen is
Great, fantastic. Well, again, thank you. Thanks a million to you. And I can't go to the next one because I want to show you here. Oh, I made a mistake. Let me share with you. Can you see my screen now? No, you can't.
no, ma'am.
no, ma'am.
All right.
No, ma'am.
Just
No, madam.
in
Your
a
screen is
second, you
not
will be. Here it is.
Yes,
Now
ma'am.
it's visible.
Yeah, ma'am.
All
Yes,
right.
madam. Now visible.
It's visible.
All right. So let me go to this. Well, this is me at the end of a day at school with all my hairs on end. No, that's a joke. And this is a picture of on the right. You know, there's a picture of the school where I work. And I've been working here for about about 20 years. And this is my public school in Buenos Aires. And it's very near my house, fortunately. But this is where I've been acquiring long years of experience with my teenager students who are my treasures, just like you. Now you are my new treasures, you know. So thank you very much for this opportunity to listen to you. And I really admire all your capacity to spell and to speak English. You can speak English really fluently, and that's great, right? So thank you for inviting me. right?
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you all.
Thank you, ma'am. Pleasure to have you, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am, spending your valuable time for us.
We are very lucky to have you, ma'am.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you for
Yes.
spending your valuable time, ma'am, with us.
Yes, and thank you, because it's a Sunday today. All of us have come together and school. And you know that public school students don't usually have devices like a mobile phone or a notebook or a PC or a personal computer at home. And sometimes they do have mobile phones, but they don't have access to internet. So it's really hard to communicate with students. You know, the authorities in my school decided that we would not have online lessons. I mean, we would have online instructions, but not synchronous classes, right? No, no Google Meet, no Zoom, because not all the students had the possibility to join. So what we did was to send homework by the school platform, and the students did their homework and then sent it back. They uploaded it to the platform, and the teachers corrected and gave feedback to the students, you know. Digital learning in Argentina. Right. You know, it all depends on the situation. Sorry, this person who asked me about digital learning in Argentina maybe wants to have a direct and private answer, or I could answer to anyone. We are also facing the same problem of no devices to the majority of children. That's right. Some schools, not my school, but some other schools in my country last year, especially in rural areas, not in the big cities, implemented a system of printing booklets with homework, and the families picked up the booklets from schools. The children solved the activities at home, and then they returned them to school. And after a few days, teachers corrected the booklets, right? And then sent them back with new assignments, right? So, you know, we did what we could, what was in our hands, which is not much. Unfortunately, you know, Argentina is a poor country, so it's really hard to teach digitally for everyone on the same level. You know, it's very unfair sometimes, and unfortunately, right? The English language is different from Butler English language. I don't know what Butler English is. Can you explain that to me? All right, Vishnu. All right. All right, if you want to type something else. Any other questions or thoughts or reflections that you may have? Any comments from the teachers or any questions? How many teachers have we got here in this session? You know, because I've talked to teachers, to students, and maybe 4 or 5 teachers. Thank you, Sampat. Right. Well, so thank you very much. It's been a real pleasure to share this morning for me and this afternoon for you. Some of the novels I read, which could, yes, 60 students, great. You want Ayesha Jalal, sorry if I'm mispronouncing your name. Ma'am, can you please share some of the novels with us which could inspire us to learn English? You know, the novels I told you about were in Spanish. I don't know if you'd like to, if you would like me to tell you the names of the novels I read in Spanish, maybe you can find the version in English. One of them, but it's maybe too long for you. I don't know, you could have a try. One is 100 Years of Solitude. This is a novel by a Colombian writer. I'm typing, just bear with me. Writer called Gabriel Garcia Marquez. That may be too long. Oh, I wrote this to just Rohan. Just a second. I'd like to write to everyone. Here. 100 Years of Solitude. Yes. My email again is rodrimora1@yahoo.com. Sorry. .com.ar. And another one of my emails is rodrimora3@gmail.com. There you are. Something about the spelling here. Let me check. Can you say an app to correct the spelling mistakes in words? I don't know an app. Charath asked me. But if you set your, when you're typing on Word, on the program called Word, the word processor, you can set it so as to make the program correct your spelling mistakes, right? Students, 2 teachers from Tsueri, yes. All right, so you belong to many schools, yes. All right. Well, it's been a pleasure sharing with you, and I sorry, but I have to start. You know, lunch is going to be here in a few minutes. We're going to have lunch in a couple of hours, not minutes. Thank you, Enoch. But I have to start preparing lunch. There's 4 people here and this in my house. So we have to start cooking lunch, right? What are you going to do in a few minutes? Are you going to have something to drink?
We are going to have dinner, ma.
Yes, ma'am.
Dinner. That's right. So
Yes,
I don't
ma'am.
want to take your time, more of your time. You're going to have supper, right? So I hope you have a very tasty and delicious supper. And in a couple of hours, I'm going to have a tasty ravioli. You know, in Argentina, we have many Italian accent. Many of us come from Italians and from Spanish people who immigrated to our country about 100 years ago. We still keep some European traditions like eating pasta on Sunday, right? So our Italian roots order our stomachs to need pasta. All right, yes, why not? Hope to see you again. Of course, we can meet anytime you want, as long as I have some free time like today. You know, during the weekdays, I'm really busy at the school, but I can share a couple of pictures of my school with you later, right? So if your teachers contact me, we can start thinking about a good project or an exchange, right? All right, so nice meeting you, and thank you very much.
Thank you,
I
ma'am.
have to,
Thank
thank
Thank you,
you.
ma'am.
Thank
Nice
you,
to meet
madam,
you.
for your
I have to
valuable
be off
nice to meet
to,
Thank you, madam.
Thank you, ma'am. Nice to meet you,
thank
ma'am.
you. You're
Nice
very
Nice to meet
nice.
you, ma'am. Have a nice day, ma'am.
Nice to meet you, ma'am.
Thank you,
Have a
thank
nice
you.
day, ma'am.
Have a nice day, ma'am.
Have a nice dinner and supper, right?
Have a nice lunch, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Have a great day. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye, ma'am.
Bye, ma'am. Bye, ma'am.
Jai Hind, ma'am.
Bye, ma'am.
Bye, ma'am.
ಸರಿ ಆಮೇಲೆ ಜೈಂತ ನಿಲ್ತದ್ರ ಸರಿ ಹಾವ್ ಚಂದ್ರ
Yes, thank you so much once again, ma'am, for the session, what you have taken. Literally, it's so interesting and fascinating, ma'am. Thank you so much. We are so much glad that you joined us and your presentation. It's so wonderful and awesome. As you have seen and witnessed, these kids are also from the government schools. I mean, in your country, you'll call them as public university schools, right? So like it in our India we'll call government schools. So even these kids also don't have the access to internet and laptops and all of the devices. And actually there are a lot of students are there who are totally willing to connect with us, but due to some technical issues and their personal problems they couldn't join us. But literally it was such a wonderful session, ma'am, and you made our day with your session. Thank you so much, ma'am. Thanks a lot.
Thank you. Just a question. Are you still in lockdown now?
uh,
What?
No, ma'am. No, no, no.
Lockdown is
No,
still,
ma'am.
ma'am.
All right.
No, ma'am.
So maybe you could share parts of this recording if it's productive for some of the kids. I mean, you could share them at school if you. I don't know if you have the possibility, right? But they could have a chance to listen to the recording or to watch the recording. I don't know if it's productive and if teachers consider that it may be useful, or maybe they have to focus on the competition. So of course they will pay attention to that, right? So well, thank you very much. It's been a really nice experience being with you
Thank you, ma'am.
and talking to all of you, right? So you're very good students.
Thank you, ma'am.
Congratulations, and congratulations to the teachers for having these fantastic students, right? Clapping and clapping to you.
Good evening, Maria Marta, madam.
Yes, hello.
Madam, myself, I'm Swapna. I'm a teacher, madam. Firstly, I would like to convey my gratitude to be a part of this session, and I'm feeling very a pleasure to be a part of this session. Thank you for interacting with our children and making this session wonderful. Thank you very much, madam.
Right, it's my pleasure, really. Thank you. And you have wonderful students, and so that means that you are excellent teachers, right? So you have to be very proud of yourselves.
Thank you, madam.
All right. Well, I have to rush. I have to leave you. I'm very sorry. I expect not to look rude with you, right? So thank you very much. I would be
All happy friendship day.
And I'm going to sing Choti Choti Baatein song from Maharashtra. Choti 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 Baatein. Oh, meeti 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 yaadein. Oh, choti 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 baatein. Oh, meeti 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 yaadein. Oh, పరిచయం ఎప్పుడు చిన్నదే ఈ చలిమికే కాలమే చాలదే ఎన్నో వేల కథలు అరే ఇంకో కథ మొదలు అరే ఎన్నో వేల కథలు ఇంకో కథ మొదలు छोटी 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 बातें छोटी बातें बातें मीठी 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 यादें मीठी मीठी यादें यादें ఆటలాగా పాటలాగా నేర్చుకుంటే రానిదంట స్నేహం అంటే ఏమిటంటే పుస్తకాలు చెప్పలేని పాఠం అంట
Good evening, everyone. I'm Hasini from KGBV Ainavolu. I'm here to tell a story. Before that, I'm wishing you all a very happy Friendship Day. So the story title is Rescuing Friend. True friendship. There was once a beautiful forest teeming with lush of green trees, plants, and wildlife. In the forest, there were 4 best friends: a deer, a crow, a rat, and a turtle. They lived happily together, playing and having fun. One day, a hunter came into the forest and captured the deer, which was lazing under a tree. The deer tried to escape the net, but no avail. The deer's friends came rushing, hearing the deer's cries and cries for help. They noticed the deer lying motionless, caught under the net, and immediately came up, they all with a plan to help him out. So first the turtle distracted the hunter. While the hunter was busy looking for the turtle, the crow pretended to pick a deer like he was dead. This was just an act so that the hunter would think the deer was dead. In the meantime, the rat chewed up the net. In a matter of minutes, the deer was free and all the friends escaped. So the moral of the story is real friends always help each other, no matter the situation is. And also, the best thing in the life is having a friend who cares, loves, and inspires you without any condition. Thank you, everyone.
Wow, such a melodious story, Hasni. Thank you so much for conveying that. And it's too good. Thank you so much. And Archana, would you like to add a quote?
Yeah, Rahul. Friendship is the source of greatest pleasures, and without friends, even the most agreeable pursuits become tedious. And another one, friendship is delicate as a glass. Once broken, it can be fixed, but there will be always cracks. And last and final, friendship is the hardest thing in the world to explain. It's not something you learn in school, but if you haven't learned the meaning of friendship, you really haven't learned anything. Thank you. And wish you once again happy Friendship.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Archana, for the quote and for the saying what you introduced to us. And thanks for conveying that. And my dear friends, we've been getting the wishes through the chat box literally Thank you so much for the wishes. And
Brother, I want to say a quote.
yeah, go ahead.
A very pleasant evening to all. I'm Nazia. First of all, I want to wish you a very happy Friendship Day to all my dear lovely friends. And now I want to say a quote about friends. True friends are never apart, but maybe in distance, but never in heart. And also, the most valuable gift you can receive in an honest friend. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for giving this wonderful opportunity and special thanks to Sampath sir and
Happy Friendship Day.
Thank you.
Friendship Day, my dear friends, and
Yeah, you're also active. Thank you very much, Nazia, for the saying. And once again, thank you so much, everybody, for joining us. And I'd like to wish you all wholeheartedly, again, international, a very happy and a fantastic International Friendship Day. Friends are the persons so vital. They could play a vital role in our lives, and they are the persons who could help us and who could celebrate good times and provide such wonderful times. And they could also provide support during bad times also, and they could also prevent loneliness, and they could give a chance to us to offer needed companionship. So I wish you all once again a very happy and a wonderful Friendship Day ahead. And thank you so much, all the guide teachers, for joining us. And that's it for today. And you're going to have the Spellathon practice test tomorrow. So attempt that, and all the best for you. Thank you so much. Bye bye.